What's up guys, welcome back to Pat Outdoors. Today we're going to be turning things up with the ETM RTR. This bike has been stocked for way too long and it's been a blast right out of the box. You know, it goes 55 miles per hour. The suspension soaks up pretty much whatever I throw at it. But I think I'm ready for a little bit more torque and power overall. And I'm also starting to get a little bored of the all white look. So we're going to be changing things up today. As of right now, this bike's been completely stock besides the LED headlight that I installed, the seat cover that we got from Bolts & Volts, and the chain upgrade from Electro, which is actually a little bit loose. I'm gonna tighten up that tension when we install the new motor in just a moment. Man, I completely forgot that I broke the right brake lever. I dropped this bike on a group ride like a couple weeks ago. Got to order that right now. Got a couple boxes in from Electro, which we definitely need to go over in just a moment. I've had these for over a month now, but I've been a little bit preoccupied with moving all my bikes to our new place and setting up the garage how I want it and moving to this house overall. But let's go open these up and see what's inside. Start with the smaller one. The smaller box has the RTR high-rise bar upgrade. Just gonna make it a little bit less cramped for an adult rider. Now, this box is really heavy, so it's definitely got quite a few things in it. New graphics kit. I think this is the high torque motor. Battery leads. 76 volt charger, and I believe this is a 76 volt 20 amp hour lithium battery pack, but this is actually not for the RTR. I'm actually going to try to jam this in the Tudio Soleil, so make sure you stay tuned if you want to see that video. So I'm not just going to be throwing the torque motor on there, I'm also going to be upgrading the controller, which I forgot we have to send out to Electro, so let's start off by taking that off. Once you take the battery out, you can see that the phase wires lead to the backside of this cover. So I think we actually have to unbolt the controller from the outside. Just take these 4 Allen bolts off. But before we do that, let's key on for a moment and key back off just to make sure that there is no charge being held on the controller. You know what, I looked a little bit closer and you actually don't need any tools to take this cover off. Just put your fingers around the side and pull on each side and it pops right off. So I wish I kind of knew that earlier so we could access the phase wires, but we needed to unbolt the controller either way. So starting from the top, this is the negative terminal and positive terminal that connects to the battery. These 3 wires to the left side, yellow, green, and blue are the phase wires. And then the other 2 connectors, one's for the phase wires on the motor, the other goes to the display. You never want to use power tools on any of the hardware going to your controller because you do not want to strip out or cross thread a mounting point that's directly on your controller. It'd be such a pain in the ass to fix. You're going to notice that there's a smaller red wire that's sharing the same terminal as the positive on the battery. That's actually the signal wire for the key switch. Controller's all packaged up and ready to go back to Electro & Co. to get the tuning service done. Just got to print out the shipping label that they email you. And while we're here, we might as well order the replacement brake lever for the RTR. Hopefully they have it in stock. It's only 15 bucks, so not bad. Of course, I'm going to use discount code PATOutdoors5 to save a little bit of money. To take the motor out, we're going to have to remove the chain first. So taking off this clip, remove the master link and unloop the chain. Snake the phase wires and the hall sensor connector out. Just going to have to snip this zip tie and then snake everything down to the left side of the frame, pull it out the bottom, and then take off these 4 10mm bolts on the swing arm. have to remove the motor brackets and transfer them to the new torque motor. There's 8mm bolts, 3 on the sprocket side and 2 on the back end side. Before we transfer the brackets, I just want to show you how both motors look side by side. Pretty much look identical from the outside, though the cap on the back seems to be rotated as far as the logo. Stock motor with the wiring weighs in just about 9.77 pounds. And the new motor, okay, so this scale has a 10-pound limit, so this definitely weighs more. This new torque motor definitely has some beefier internals in comparison to the stock one. It's nice that Electra included the 9-tooth sprocket, same one that's on the original one, on there, so it's one less thing to transfer. I'm actually saving this RTR motor for my kayak outboard project. I was gonna do an EC4P on my Hankai motor, but I decided to go with the RTR since I want to push a little bit more power for the kayak. I don't really like to use power tools on these type of motors. It's hard to judge the limitation of how much torque the housings can take, so I just think it's a better idea to do this by hand. You know what, I'm just gonna loosen the rear axle. We're gonna have to reposition the rear axle blocks anyway to adjust the chain tension. I believe Electra & Co.'s chain slack, it's like 1 to 10mm of slack, which is not very much, but which is completely fine for the RTR since the motor is mounted in the swing arm, so the chain slack doesn't change under compression. And here's how I have the phase wires and the hall sensor connector situated. I'm just gonna leave it like this for now until the controller comes back. Since we're still waiting for the replacement brake lever and for the controller to come back from Electro, let's go clean up this bike and throw on the new graphics set. I decided to go with a holographic graphics set because I think it looks pretty dope that it changes colors depending on what angle you're looking at it. If you're interested in checking out any of the parts that we're using for this project, I'll have everything linked in the description below. I don't even know how I laid that down without a heat gun. Luckily, the RTR has relatively flat panels, so it's not too difficult to get around the curves and whatnot. But I'm probably still gonna hit it with a heat gun just to make sure that it fully adheres well to the plastic. I also gotta heat up this spot and stretch it just so it'll fit a little bit better. You know, I have no idea how I got away with doing all that with dry application. If you're not comfortable applying vinyl and you don't want to ruin it, definitely try to do the wet application first, spraying it with water, sliding it into place how you want it positioned, and then squeegeeing the water out. I just went really slow with the dry application and everything just ended up lining correctly. Luckily, the Sense graphics were cut pretty well. I wasn't really sure how I was gonna feel about the black graphics on the white plastics, but I'm actually really digging the look, especially with it being holographic. It's pretty cool having the black graphics with the white borders all around. I think it also goes well with the seat. Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, got the controller back from Electro & Co. The total turnaround time was about 9 days, but keep in mind, I'm all the way in Virginia, so East Coast to West Coast, then the tuning service was like 2 or 3 days, and then I got a tracking number immediately. So if you're in the West Coast, I can imagine they only take a few days to get this done. Let's go throw this thing on and see how it changes the bike. Should be all set. Man, I feel like I haven't ridden this bike in almost a month now. Yo, the pickup is insane. I don't think it's supposed to change the top speed. It's pretty much just going to be a power distribution change. Yeah, like, yeah, definitely has quite a bit of torque down low. Love this bike. What do you guys think of the new ETM RTR Lite that just came out? I think it's like 2,200 bucks. It's pretty much supposed to be based on the same frame, same plastics, same wheel set, 14-inch front, 12-inch rear, but it's got a slightly different fork. I think the one on the RTR Lite is not adjustable. It's also running on a 60-volt, 5,000-watt powertrain, but it's supposed to still go 45 miles per hour, and for $2,200, I feel like that's a good entry-level price point to get into a quality pit bike and be able to have enough funds to upgrade it over time. So for example, if I wanted to start all over again and I had plans of upgrading a bike front to back, then I would have probably just gone with an ETM RTR Lite, throw the torque motor on that, do a controller upgrade, and the big touring battery. But what do you guys think of the new RTR Lite as a budget pit bike option? Is it a good deal at 2,200 bucks, or would you rather just go straight to an RTR? So I pretty much have everything upgraded at this point except for the rear sprocket. I wish I had the aluminum one in stock, and I kind of want to throw on the 14-inch street wheels. There's a ride out tomorrow that I'm tempted to join, but it's over 30 miles, and that's pretty borderline for this bike if I'm riding at higher speeds. I've done 27 miles on one charge before, cruising at about 30 miles per hour, but I think tomorrow we're going to be cruising at a slightly higher speed, and I just don't think this can do over 30 miles on one charge with the stock battery. Obviously, if you have the 45 amp hour touring battery upgrade, it'll do a lot more than that. So that might be something I consider in the future.
So I know it's going to make the bike just a little bit heavier because obviously it's almost twice as much battery. Well, the torque motor and the tuning service didn't really do anything as far as the top speed, but it certainly accelerates a lot harder down low. And the power band is probably a lot more beneficial though if you are planning on riding this bike off-road, like on some trails or a dirt track, but it doesn't really do anything for top speed or if you're cruising on the street. Holy shit. You guys see that? Yeah, the high bars definitely make this bike seem a little bit bigger. Like, look at how much space there is between the handlebar and my knees. If you guys enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you like this kind of content and want to see some more of my bike projects or any of my rides, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn your bell notification on. But this is going to be it for today. Thank you for watching.